Hola amigos, this is Level 12 and today we are going to be talking about NyoTalia names. Now, what would the person who dislikes NyoTalia have to talk about NyoTalia again? Well, while I dislike NyoTalia, I do think Hima put in a lot of effort into making their designs, and with designs come names. And I thought it would be fun to figure out what names best suit these lovable characters. Now, I kind of made a setup for this. So the first name is the general fandom name. So, the Western and Japanese fans of Italia have different ideas of what should be the names of the NyoTalia characters, so I'm just going with the name that I've heard the most. Then we're going to pick a name based on the male name, which usually just means that it starts with the same letter, and then my lovely suggestion. Now, I don't know much about Italian, German, Chinese names, so I used a name generator, which I'll link in the description below. It was really easy just to click through and find some names that I thought would fit the character, but without further ado, let's get into it. So, Italy. So, Italy's female names have circulated very closely to just Feliciana. However, Hima had suggested that Alice would be a good name, and I do think Alice really suits her. It's a very buoyant, fancy, not fancy, but a very carefree kind of name if used in the right context, and I really do think it suits Italy's personality very well. And I couldn't really think of another name, and most Italian, along with Spanish names, you just change the O for an A, you got the female version. So Feliciana again, and then I clicked through the name generator, and I found Chloe, and I thought Chloe was so nice. Chloe to me is always a vibrant, bubbly name, and it just screams adventure, and it's not like the super, like, Olivia, or it's not a very, like, sweet, delicate name. So I thought Chloe suited her very well. Next we have Germany, and Hima had suggested that her name be Monica, and I actually really like that name. It's a very nice name. It's very, like, it's familiar. I just like Monica so much. I don't know why. However, fans have given her the name Louise, probably based off Ludwig, and because, you know, Germany's normal name is Ludwig, I had to go with Leah, and most German names are similar when they start with an L, or similar to my own, because my name is part German. Anyways, so I just thought Leah was really nice, and again, I really love short names, so a lot of my suggestions are short names, except for this one, Ursula. Ursula is a German name, and it has a cute little nickname called Uschi, and I thought it would be really nice to give her Ursula, because Ursula to me is a very commanding name, and as we all know, Germany is very commanding, so why would the Neo not be commanding? I don't know. I just liked Ursula a lot for her, and I don't mean Ursula as in the little octopus thing from The Little Mermaid, but yes, Ursula. Next we have Japan, and Sakura is the best name. I don't care what you think. Sakura defines this delicate, beautiful goddess of a character. I love Neo Japan. Neo Japan is one of my favorite looking characters, next to Neo Latvia and Neo Canada. But I think Sakura just suits her so well, especially because she has the Sakura blossom in her hair, and she looks very sweet and innocent and delicate, minus the sword. But I just felt it was really nice. And Japan's normal name is Kiku. There aren't that many good sounding Japanese names that start with a K. The only one I really found was Kaho, and I didn't like that, so I went with Ki. I've heard it, I think it's more of a nickname, but we're just going with it, Ki. And then the name I thought would suit her is Hina, and Hina is another really soft, really delicate name that I thought suited her very well. You know, it's not a very commanding name. It's a very soft, delicate. Listen, when I think of names and stuff, a bunch of things run through my head. I'm sorry. Next we have America, and a general consensus for her name is Amelia or Emily. I liked Amelia more, and I've heard it more, so we're going with Amelia. Next, and then the name based off her male name, which Alfred, is Anna. I have known many Annas in my life, and they've all been very different, but they've all been kind of boyish, or they've had, like, tomboyish tendencies, so I thought Anna would be a really nice name to describe her, because Anna is such a common name. It's not super delicate, it's not super masculine, it's a very common name, and I feel like it describes her very well. It's very unassuming, and it suits her. Then I went with Casey for my personal pick. And because I read the story when I was younger called Casey at Bat, and, you know, she has a bat, and Casey sounds like a very rough and tumble name, like it's kind of androgynous, you know. I just like the name Casey. Next we have England and Alice. Fans call her Alice because her male counterpart is Arthur, and I really like giving her these really posh, prim names. So the Fanon has called her Alice. A name based off her male counterpart is Abigail. Again, that's a very posh British name. I really stuck with hardcore British names. Also, Abigail, for some reason, just looking at the twin tails and Abigail, they really, like, make me think, oh, yeah, that could work. I don't know why. And then finally, Evelyn. Evelyn is such an elegant, beautiful name. It's very high standard, very class, much class, and I just liked it a lot. I was originally going to go with Olivia, but then I realized her 2P is Olivia, because England's 2P is Oliver, so therefore her 2P would be Olivia. I still think Olivia is a great name, but I think it more suits the 2P than her, so we got stuck with Evelyn. Hope you like it. Next we have France, and there's a better name that the fandom has given her. I can't pronounce it because it has a weird little C accent thing, and I don't want to mess it up. It looks like Francois, but I don't know how to pronounce it, so I just went with Francine, which is another popular one because, you know, Francis, France, it's a great play on words. So, you know, not very interesting. Then we got Francesca. Again, not very interesting. It looks like France. It sounds like Francis, you know, and I even had to make sure that was a French name, which it is. And then I went with Marie, because when I think of a French name, I think of Marie, because it's a very popular French name, mostly due to Marie Antoinette, but, like, she's probably not that extreme. Also, I'm more inclined to pick short names. I don't know why. I just think short names are so elegant and so simple and so sweet, and even though Neo France probably isn't the most simple of people, she's probably, you know, pretty high class, pretty elegant there. I just thought Marie was a much nicer name than something long and arduous. I don't know. I just liked it better than longer names. Next we have Russia, and her Fanon name is actually, I was surprised, it was Anya, which is a play off Anna, and it's similar to Ivan's name, because Ivan, some fans like call it a nickname like Vanya, so I thought that was really cute. Anya really does suit her though. It's like super sweet. The only Russian name I could think of that starts with an I that's feminine is Ivanka. I'm sure there's more, but Ivanka was just the first one that came to me, and it's one of those names that are like, you could have tried harder, because you just added a KA to Ivan and you got Ivanka. And also, Ivanka isn't really a pretty name. Like, I'm sorry to anyone called Ivanka, I just don't know. It just doesn't sound right in the mouth. So the name I gave her was Tatiana, and Tatiana to me is a very, like, powerful name, a very commanding name. I feel like that would more suit her 2P thinking about it now, because she's a little bit more delicate than I think Russia is. Like, male Russia, she's a little bit more softer. I don't know, I just like the name Tatiana. The only thing I don't like about Neo Russia, okay, this is a slight rant. She looks a lot like Monaco, so I would love her a lot more if she didn't look like Monaco. Okay, rant over. But yeah, I really just like the name Anya and Tatiana, you know, the good names. Okay, so now we get into the category of names I know nothing about. Phonetically, I know nothing about Chinese names. I'm familiar with German and Italian names. Like, I'm familiar with them because they're similar to my own language. But Chinese, no clue. Phonetically, it's different for me. It's just, I don't want to call it weird because weird has a bad connotation. It's just different. So I had no idea. So I heavily used the name generator on this one and just picked something at random. I don't know meanings. It doesn't have that phonetic sound, poetic picture in my head like the other ones do. So we're just going to wing it. So the Fanon has given her Chun-Yan, which her male counterpart is Yao, Wang Yao. And sure, go off. So the only name in the generator that really piqued my interest was Yating. I liked it. It sounded preppy and interesting, and I always think of Neo China as kind of like Taiwan. Like, she has a similar personality to Taiwan to me, but she's just a little bit more easier to anger and kind of like a hothead, but, you know, still have the cute tendencies as China. And then the name I gave her was Lee. Okay? That's all I could think of. Again, I'm really attracted to short names, but this is kind of pushing it even for me. It's not the most creative, and it's not the most out there name, but, you know, you live and you lose. Not every name is going to be as beautiful or as mystical as Marie or Tatiana. Sometimes you're just a Lee, and that's how life be. Oh, I feel really bad. Okay, so I want to do this again, but I want to know what y'all think. I know I only did the Allied and Axis powers, but there's a lot of Neos. I didn't even know how many Neos there were until I started doing this video. But if you want more, I'd be way more than happy to do more. I know the next time I want to do this, I want to do Prussia, Canada, Lithuania, Latvia, and Poland. I know I'm going to do those 5, but if there are any more, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll get to them. Anyways, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more anime and otaku related content. Ciao, chicos.